Hello and welcome to another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. I am the player who plays as the King Under the Mountain, and today, finally, after being in this server for, I think it's 5 days, I am doing some content on the winter event, which is going on at the moment. It is a new look Season 1. I haven't done a Season 1 video ever, I don't think, so this is going to be kind of a recap of what the new Season 1 look like, what they involve, how this server's going, because it's kind of an event one, so it's a little bit more unique. There are some key stuff on the map, which is quite cool. I did go and watch the War of the Rohirrim film the other day, so I kind of get what's going on with that. I did sort of know the story beforehand. And of course, the game itself have released today that Helm Hammerhand will be out for trying to get the character tomorrow onwards. So I would suspect the events on the map will probably start changing from tomorrow, I would guess. Once Helm's probably more involved. That would be my take on it anyway. But nice to see a new commander. I hope there was a slight teaser that there might be another commander coming soon. But I'm not going to go into that right now. As I probably shouldn't. So we're going to start by looking at the leaderboards as usual. So in this server, there was supposed to be 3 people who were content creators. Unfortunately, one had to drop out. We're not too sure why. So there is basically me and HJW in here. Hello, HJW. Hope you're listening. Hope you're watching. Whatever it might be. I would do the impression of you, but I feel it's a bit cruel to do that at this stage. Just in case I might need you to help me with Rohan at some stage in the near future. So we're going to the leaderboard. Pure originality as usual by HJW. He named his fellowship Home, which is his fellowship in the actual game. And with his main account, he plays in the Fellowship of Home. Well done for originality with that one. I mean, you could have called it anything. HJWG, Tash, anything you like. But no, Home. Fair enough, whatever it might be. And to be fair, they are the heroes of farming Middle-earth. And they've done really well so far with that. He has... In fact, we'll go to the map first because it probably makes more sense that way. This server's been fairly active to this point. I think it probably needs a little bit more leadership. I will hold up my hands and say that I have been terrible at points, mainly because my main also started on Friday. I'm going to say that first, actually. I really appreciate the fact that some people have been on to the game in the last 4 or 5 days on this server, have set up fellowships, put pins down, taken keeps, done all the good stuff, which I should probably be helping with. And I'd really like to say to Oakenshield, thank you very much. And Tharwin, to be fair, over in Mordor, who have really done some quite heavy lifting. So very much appreciate all the people that are helping me out, but I know them two in particular have been on at me to help. And of course, Big Al, who it's nice to see Al again. I asked Al to come to the server with me. He is also a content creator worth checking out because he comes up with some great stuff and he releases a lot of content as well at the moment. We used to play in the same fellowship together for a long period of time, and he is a great guy. So I'm glad he's here with me also. You'll see these pins on the map, but we'll go into the map afterwards. So, in fact, no, we'll go into the map first. Why not? Basically, the map kind of got split into 3 originally. So, we had Enedweth and the White Mountains. So, yeah. What happened was when the creator sort of left this area, HJW had Blue Mountains and Forodwith, which is a big old area, by the way. And then I gained Darklands, and I think he gained the East, possibly. I'm not sure there's many players in the East, but I basically spawned in the Darklands anyway. So there was a fellowship that spawned there with me, which is called KUTM, the capital letters one. And when we spawned on this map, all this area here, which is 3/4 red, was this Rohan colour, which I'm surprised it's not a green. But anyway, it was all this Rohan colour. Sorry. Big cough there. So, what basically happened was Rohan started being pushed. So, I am going to go into the events first because I think it's quite cool. So, if not to say any spoilers, even though there's one on the screen right there, if anyone knows the story of Helm or what happened around that time or the War of the Rohirrim, this is kind of playing out those events. I won't go into it too much because obviously it's kind of a bit spoilery, but what they've tried to do is create a season 1 server with a bit of a theme, which I think is quite a cool idea. And to be honest, it's been done quite well. It would have been nice, I think, if they'd have just maybe in the future. I think the best way to do this, if they really want player engagement, is to stop the normal servers, the week before this comes out, and then players will pile into this. That's going to be my suggestion on the way back. Wasn't ideal for us because we actually started a server on the same day as this server kicked off, so not ideal. But it goes through the storyline basically. The Dunlendins basically pushing through here. You can zoom in on this now, so you will see when this eventually stops pixelating that it has been taken over. So it's kind of like an NPC battle. There are still some Rohan City Guard around here, and actually they've progressed a little bit. I can't believe no one's took that. Right, if this was real war, that tile would be gone so long ago and have flipped 15, 16 times by now. So they've kind of pushed all the way down here, and it was quite cool really to watch Rohan get pushed back. I think there was a crossing that they came from or something like that, and they've took all the road tiles as well, so reinforcements are well covered. So good play really. Another 300 tile not taken. Wow. So anyway, they've kind of pushed all the way across is my point, and they've taken Edoras. Now, the other events on the map, which again, quite cool, the battle at the Fords of Eisen, again, similar kind of situation. So this started at a crossing way back up here, and the Dunlendins again sort of pushed Rohan back here. So I think if I can zoom, he says, so they've already taken over this. So at one stage, this was all Rohan this side. I cannot believe they don't farm tiles. Come on, devs. NPCs should farm tiles too. I'm just saying that grain would never exist. So they've basically pushed Rohan right the way back here, and that's what the map's kind of signifying. By the way that this sort of area here is getting a little bit smaller. This was the siege. So basically, Sufberg is, I believe, Helm's Deep. Yes. So I won't go into again too much storyline, but Rohan will probably do a little bit better here, I would guess, or at least I'd hope so. So at the moment, Rohan still owns this. I would anticipate when Helm is released, something will happen here. Bear in mind, and again, not to spoiler alert, that Helm's Deep is named after Helm Hammerhand. So I would like to think something here is going to happen. This is what happens in the story. They do get surrounded there where all the survivors get to. So pretty cool that they've played it out. And it's nice to see them try and create a storyline which is different to what they would normally do. It's nice to see them get involved with other Lord of the Rings content. I wonder if they have to... I would like to think, though, that if they're going to try and take this, they need to take the spring, like what we'd have to do, build a fell fort. Come on, play the game properly. Anyway, that's not the point. So, just heading back to the map, and I will zoom in just a touch. There have been keeps taken on this map. Bane have done all the heavy lifting. We are about to kingdom up with them and bring a lot of players across, because I think this is going to be quite a nice PvP zone. That's where my settlement is, and that is a pin that basically says not to defend me, but it says something else. So hopefully it's going to create quite a nice PvP zone. Home have come through this pass. They will be farming in here now. They've took some keeps, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We can't get into this area yet. I would like to think at some stage that my team from the White Mountains are probably going to have to come in here, try and kill some Dunlendins and things like that. So, although your area up here, HGW, you were very fortunate in the fact that I've probably got to deal with this while you could just go straight to the ring, which shows where your loyalty's going to lie, I reckon, during this. Are you going to help or not? Whereas I don't really have much choice because I've kind of got to go through them. Anyway, so it's sort of a season 1. There isn't a lot of activity on this side of the map. I think we'll be pretty honest about that. We've taken some keeps in Mordor, and this is what I mean about Tharwin. It's been great over here, and the Mordor team have done really well, to be fair, which is where I spawned, and so the Enedworth team. So from a general player number perspective, Home are in front on the Fellowship. Their second Fellowship is down here, so they've got about 1.6. This is their other team in forward with, and there's another team in forward with as well called Odin. I'm not sure if that's the Odin from my server or not. And we have a couple of teams in the White Mountains, which are mine. There is a team in the East, which I don't think have done much yet. There are so many teams in Enedworth that I'm trying to get together. I started a small team in Enedworth because I left Mordor, which is where my other team was up here. And so we're about to join to Bane, which is kind of where that's at. But there's lots of fellowships in here. It's been pretty cool. Been pretty chilled out so far. There is an Anatomy Fellowship in here, which is quite interesting, considering I did ask him if he wanted to join in. So that's fun. Hopefully he has joined in, because I think it'd be... I think it's safe house. Fair play to him. So that's good. There's quite a few fellowships in here is what I'm trying to say, and there are players playing this server, which is quite nice. I just think to get pure engagement, they probably need to stop the normal servers if that's what they want to do. I will take note of the personal rankings because some people have worked hard in here. I've actually made the top 300 now, which is I'm okay with that considering how much I've done. There's a few. HJW himself's at 34. I know he's been putting some effort in on this, so that's come on, man, sort yourself out. Big Al's flying along, bless him. So just to pick out a few names from there, but I actually now own a 150 of each, which I'm quite happy about after today. And Dixon's in here too. So yeah, pretty much, to be fair to people, they have got involved in this server, and I think it does deserve a little bit more credit than what some of the season ones have been given. It's not your average run-of-the-mill season one. I will try and show some of the features that they put into season one. So things like you've got the Dragon Hunt, which once I'm getting to about level 30, you get an opportunity to get some gold gear. They do have a lot of these kind of small events where you click through them and you get a lot of gems and some gear, which is pretty cool, if I'm being honest. It's quite refreshing to see some damage. Commander damage 6 of 6. We're definitely getting that one at some stage soon because we definitely need that. So it sort of goes through the story. You've got Balrogs. You've got a load of pretty cool stuff that's just sort of knocking around in these. You get some good rewards if you actually interact with them. They're just not quite like taking the tiles. I mean, I can probably click through one pretty quickly. Yeah, go on. We'll just click through one. So I'll kind of show you what I mean. This is not, if you are new here, and you are not necessarily new to my channel, but new to the game in general, this isn't something that you get beyond Season 2. I don't even know if you get it in Season 2. You don't get these little doors which take you to places where you get gear. You just get into Season 3 and pretty much get smashed by teams which have been around for 15 seasons, which I think is something that they do need to work on. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this being a Season 1 server. So from what I found, there's a lot of cinematics. This is going to bring us to another cinematic in a moment. It's fun to engage players in that way, but it's probably a false reality of what it actually entails to play the game. The game basically involves taking the tiles, which are these, and PvP, and I probably could have hit that on the way past, but it is from Bane, and I'd feel bad about it. So yeah, I'm glad they included some stuff for some people to get some gear, which is quite interactive, because just while he's marching over there, I'll show you what I have. So I've been playing not a great deal on this server thus far, probably a couple hours a day at most. And this is my gear so far, which is not strengthened, not refined. I have managed to make some pretty cool sets, and it's quite refreshing to actually start again in this way, because it's different and it makes you think differently about what your account is. Try and find blue weapons with some commander damage on. At some stage or another, I will strengthen these things and try and sort of improve my commanders. I will be playing this as a free-to-play server. I'll be interested to see how it progresses, and I will keep people updated with that. I have a lot of R0 commanders. I took Thranduil as my commander for the season, partly because I think he represented the best skills that I could get at R0 to actually be useful. So Mirkwood's Vigor is a pretty good skill, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to using that. I will show you what there is to buy and do in a second. We will just go into here. You get quite a long time to complete them. And they just kind of take you into something that this is not how the game normally is. So there'll be players here that have never seen anything like this, but it kind of just goes through a bit of a cinematic. You end up here. You basically have to pretty much all these kind of things. You can skip through them, which is quite nice. I've probably picked the longest one of these, knowing me, which would be a bit silly, but this looks like we are at Helm's Deep. We have done a day at Helm's Deep, which I'm pretty sure I don't remember seeing, but anyway. So I'm guessing we just have to kill all these, hold the line, and you'll see it's quite a cinematic experience. This is sort of what happens if you press into the replay of battles, which I don't know anyone who actually presses that in game, but this is sort of the montage that you get when you press on those things. And then you kind of have to just click the different, almost like mob spawns really, taking them all out. These are fairly simple as far as it goes. We'll just take them down. Hopefully, I'm guessing I've got to then kill these. There goes the wall. So we better take out these. We've just got some rewards. Like I say, you can listen to all of this sort of good stuff really that they've put into it. But like I say, this to me is not the game. It's just a nice, fun experience, I think, for new players, which I'm quite pleased they've put in. It's cool in itself. Kind of reminds me of Battle for Middle-earth, actually, to be honest. But I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, but it sort of does. That's kind of, I'm hoping, the end of this particular one. They tend to be a couple of minutes long if you press through them. Oh, no, we've got more. Enemies galore in this one. Generally, there isn't that many enemies. I don't know what you guys are doing over there, but you need to take out these. So we've got Legolas and Gimli coming forward. Pretty cool. We've got a load of elves there that aren't moving. Not really too sure why. But they're clearly protecting that wall, I'm guessing. So all these will be gone in a minute. We'll just get some more health. Jesus Christ. And here's Gandalf appearing from the east. So this is obviously just day 5. It looks like we're going into another cinematic experience, which is why, if you listen to these, you'll know exactly what you're doing. I feel like I'm doing a running commentary on a horse race more than anything else at this stage. I probably could have pressed one of these that was slightly shorter. But don't let it put you off. You know, pretty fun. Nice little bit of satisfaction in winning, watching through, reminiscing about the film. Or the book, if that's the way you'd rather reminisce. There are still Uruk-hai coming here. This is like a big one of these cutscenes. I mean, if this is what you have to do for a decent damage weapon, I'm still game to do it. Ugthak's down. See you, Ugthak. Sinking into the floor. Goodbye, Ugthak. And I'm hoping, maybe, just maybe... No, there is more Uruk-hai. Come on, Aragorn. I mean, they have put some effort into this. I'm guessing they were running off. So, the Ents, I'm presuming, are just going to take these down. We take out these guys. I apologise for this being one of the longer ones, but we're going to give it a go. So we've got through that relatively unscathed. I'm hoping as that was the fleeing armies, that is the end. And it will just come up saying victory in a minute. I mean, I feel like I'm almost watching the film here by the amount of time that I've been going through this battle. Gandalf's gibbering at me. There appears to be a mist. Hallelujah, right, the end. So we've now got a decent damage weapon. And with might as well. I mean, not exactly what you want for a focus weapon, but let's not be picky here. and we got some reputation for that. I've done a video today on reputation, so I'm quite looking forward to releasing that and hopefully having people understand where they're at. As for tiles, they are not massively strong. I will just run this in the background so you can see, and then probably go into the season. Says on here it's 30 to 45 days. Now, to my knowledge, I was pretty sure it was told that it'll end on the 5th of January. So it's kind of a nice little, give or take over Christmas, where you can just have a little bit of fun in a season. This is 1402, the winter season, by the way. And I will go into what you can buy or what you can get. So there are lots of things that you can get just for logging in every day as a new player. In for day 2. I mean, I would much prefer that to be Gimli, if I'm being honest, but hey ho. But Frodo and Sam for day 7 is pretty good, because obviously they are a very good tank. So for a new player, this is pretty cool. We got some purple gear today. We got yesterday. We got a Maven today. We'll get this helmet tomorrow with Fortitude again. So we'll have a 2-piece Fortitude set. So that's good. You can also get the Winter Battle Plan, which I would assume there is something similar in a normal Season 1 for people. And it gives you kind of a barometer of where you're at with days. So by day 3, it's saying you should be somewhere near 9,000. It's not that hard to get to that by day 3. I should finish that pretty soon because I've caught up a lot today by playing a bit more. I will complete some tips tomorrow, so that will be done as well. So I reckon I'll be pretty much caught up by day 5. If you complete this, you get 5 manuscripts for Legolas, with me already unlocking him because the chest that you have seems to be quite favourable. That'll do, because I think it'll get him to probably R1, maybe R2 if I'm lucky with what he's already got. So nice to see. You then get a commander for the season. Like I said, I chose Thranduil. You could choose either Treebeard or Radagast. I chose Thranduil because he's probably the best of those 3 in my opinion. Interesting that you only get them for the season for a free trial. I would much prefer if they just gave it you, because I think that'd be quite a cool starting present for people, even if it was one of those 3, just to do that. This is quite a big deal to a new player, I would say, this whole Land of Abundance. So 5,000 gems and 10 Mavens is a big deal to a new player on a sort of more free-to-play server. There are some people who have spent in this server, by the way. I've seen an R4 Gandalf the White running around. So it's quite nice. You still get the odd sort of reward for that from the leaderboards. You get similar for fellowships, but without the Maven rewards. So that's quite nice that that's still in there. You get a humble beginnings type thing. So you, the more people you get, the more gems you have. So we should, at the end of this won't matter because we won't be in this anymore. We'll all be in Bane because the fellowship size is 200 in this. So we are going to put everyone in Enedweth into one fellowship, and then everyone should get these rewards. Quite looking forward to Oakenshield getting a good chunk of rewards. I think he deserves them for what he's done so far. There is also for land conquest. This is launch attacks on level 10 lands with nearby tacticians and friends to earn great rewards. So at the moment, I don't think many people have actually taken a 200 tile. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting that a little bit over the next day or 2. I'm pretty much hoping to take one tomorrow, I think. And then you get more rewards for that, which is good. You have the Seal of the One Ring, which is as the Seal of the Ring weakens, the passes between realms will gradually become conquerable. Join forces with your fellowship members to capture these passes and vie for glory together. So the level 7 passes are now open, which means we can now get between lands, which means HJW's team home and us, probably more from the Bane side to start with, we'll be looking to hopefully do a little bit of war soon. Probably before I would suspect we have to go and bail Rohan out. You have Middle-earth Turbulence, which is march with your fellowship to occupy mysterious springs and control points and earn gems. The more you do it, the more gems you get. So there is quite a lot of gems you can pick up in this sort of first season for free, which I think is really good. You have Unstoppable Conquest, which we're all quite used to, which again is occupation reward based and more gems. They have brought back the Red Book of Westmarch, which is pretty good because you can upgrade Merry and Pippin. I wish it was someone other than Merry and Pippin, but at this level, they're actually not a bad support com. The more of the tasks you complete, there is a lot of goodies in the Red Book. I will probably show the Red Book in a moment, but the more stars you get, the more gems you get, the more rewards you get, and the more unlocks for them. You have Commander Expertise Succession, which is try out the new ring ability of XP Switch, which I haven't tried yet. I will try it at some stage. You have the Blessing for Departures chest, which is pretty cool. And then you get some gems as well for sharing your experience. And like I say, they've linked with the War of the Rohirrim, so I will probably share my viewing experience with this. If I'm being honest, I thought the film was good, but I did think I wanted more action from it. Bear in mind, it is an entire war. There wasn't a great deal of war, but I thought it was quite well done, so I was alright. And then you can sort of link your Discord, which I'm surprised it hasn't already done that for us all, because we've already bound, so that's interesting. As for the tile, like I say, it's not too bad. We will take this tile, I would think, after the draw. From a gear point of view, it is a lot less than the gear that you see in your seasons. So, it's kind of made it relative to where we're at, which I'm pretty happy about, if I'm being honest. I think it's nice to be able to do that. You have the trails, which you kind of unlock and do, like I've already shown you. And you've got different chests. This chest for a Season 1's actually pretty good, I think. This special offer chest. Pretty much everything I've got from here so far has been good, and I've been using my gems or freebies to open this. Keeping enough gems to open the 200 gem chest is a really good idea. After 100 pulls, you will get a Mythic Commander. Hopefully Dane, to be honest. Or Gandalf the White, but it's nice to see them two in there. Like in the other ones, you still get Heroes Gather. And you get Rare Finds in Middle-earth, which looks a lot like the original chest, which we no longer see in seasons. So yeah, it's quite cool. It's again this joint counter system, so I'm pretty happy with that. He also gives you gifts for the more Mavens you open. I think I got a chest piece for 10. Oh, I've pressed something, which means I've got to actually press something. There we go, and get off it again. Then we have the this is the Red Book. I've done 3 of the tasks so far because I had to. You can flick through, do all these tasks, and you'll get loads of rewards and loads of gems for it. And if you put the time into it as a new player, it's really good for you, because you can pretty much, I reckon, open 20 to 30 Mavens just by going through this book, which is a big deal for someone at the start of their development, to be honest. All in all, I've enjoyed it so far. I am going to do more content on this server because I think it's important that we engage with these type of things that the devs put out for us, because we cry out for new things a lot as a community. I think it's nice to get people involved who are a little bit more experienced players as well, with some new players, because there is a drop off sometimes in people who don't necessarily know what they're doing. From what I've seen, the game does talk you through certain things that you probably shouldn't do. So for example, if I go to press this 200 tile and press occupy and press this, hopefully it won't just set off, there you go, it tells me roughly what I need to be able to get there, and then you can back out, which I think is a good feature, because then you don't just wreck your army on a tile. That's actually a 230, well, an 11 stone tile now, not a 230. 11s and 10s are 200s now, so nice to see that. We did take that tile. We've just unlocked something as well. There we go. So that's another couple of things in the bag. The menu here with buildings is very similar to what you get in a normal season, so I'm quite happy that they've kept that in the same sort of light. The interesting one is the new ring, which I again have done a video on today. It'll probably get released at some point, either later or tomorrow. I'm trying to break it down into the first 1 to 20 levels and then the next 20 to 40 levels. I've just unlocked this, so as I carry on through, I'll probably do 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and then 60 to the end, I would guess, is probably where I'll go with it. if you are in these servers, stay involved. I think it's a good bit of fun. You kind of just have to treat it for what it is, I think, whereby you can have a bit of a laugh. You can help some inexperienced players, which the community desperately needs, to help those players as much as you can. You can learn some new mechanics as well, maybe learn with some new friends. You can find, example, a good fellowship. So let's go with Bane here. Bane are in a normal season. I think they started today, possibly. So they've probably been a little bit less active today on here because they've started a new server. But there will be players that have joined that team on here. And they'll be the same with Home, I would suspect, and with the KUTM fellowship, where players may end up in those teams. And it's a good way of sort of building that community and bridging the gap between Season 3 and Season 9 and trying to get players' expectations into place. I am looking forward to see how this kind of Rohan Dunlendon war goes off from Wolf. I'm really looking forward to Helm tomorrow. I mean, for God's sake, if the man's not a damage dealer, I don't know what will be. But I'm also hopeful there's going to be another commander soon. It's not confirmed, though, and it's just a rumour. But if there is, it'll be pretty cool for Evil Side. As for Good Side, not that they really need another big physical DD, but I would hope Helm will be that when we see him tomorrow. So I'm quite looking forward to that, and I'll probably try and nip on and do a video about Helm at some stage. And with that, that's kind of everything I've got with this server so far. So things are starting to progress. It is slightly slower, as you can anticipate, because there's a lot of players that are returning players into Season 1s. There are a lot of players that have joined here just to play alongside HJW or myself or whatever it might be, or to play alongside with their other fellowships and test out a Season 1. As far as the game goes, it looks a lot better than the Season 1 that I originally played, so I'm quite pleased about that they have put the work in. The cinematics are quite nice to engage the players as well, so looking forward to that. The other good deal, I would say, that is around if you are looking to spend on this in your first season, this is a great deal where you can get a Tier 2 commander, which is a good physical damage dealer at this level, for 99p. And then there is also this top-up bonus structure where the kind of more you spend, the more rewards you get. Of course, you've got the Season Pass with a golden skin, which isn't bad, and roughly 30 in Mavens there. Some good gear in here as well for a first season. So that's, for that price for a first purchase, to be fair, on this game, that's actually not bad, and it will set you up a little bit for how you go through. Medals Abound, again, is a good deal. I miss them doing that, actually, to be honest. In the main servers, you used to get 10 Mavens for 99p at the time. It was really good. You have all the speed ups like you would in a normal server. And the other deal they've got is they knock you down $4.99 instead of, or $4.99 or whatever it might be, the currency that it is. It's 50% off for up to the first 7 days. This is a deal that I always take in my server because you're getting one Maven a day. Again, 30 Mavens and 2,200 gems for $4.99, which is equivalent of what you'll get it for, is a really good deal. And for new players who, no matter who you are, I would recommend that. If you are looking to spending a game, of course, I never promote this and I'm terrible at it. I do have a top-up link with NetEase. It is official. It is through an affiliate link. It is in the description. Any spending on there is very much appreciated. It does help my channel. If you buy in a lot of different currencies, partly because the top-up center is in dollars, you tend to gain a little bit. So if you're in one of the Euro zones, or if you're in the Sterling zone, for example, like I am, you get a little discount on it because it's $9.99 as opposed to £9.99. And with the exchange rate, you get a little bit of a saving. So nice to see. They also throw plenty of resources at you in this. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything at this point that I wanted to. And on that point, thank you for being involved in this. It's really appreciated the people who have joined my team and then helped me out by actually running my team for a few days as well, which I really respect and really, I can't say thank you enough for that. And in the meantime, if in doubt, always follow your nose.